What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 20 of Break It Down, hosted by me, Dante Toro, my cousin, Kyle Beatty, where we break down all the important stuff that is going on in the world of wrestling. We were off last week. We apologize. Things came up. We had to adjust, but we're back. We are better than ever. Kyle, how are you doing today? It's been a few weeks since we've kind of gotten together. The last time we saw each other, actually, we were together in person watching WrestlePalooza and All Out together. So how's everything been since
it's been great,
last
man.
time we've been together?
It's been fantastic. I had to take a week to myself to kind of to reflect.
Self-care week.
I kind of purged some wrestling, and I'm collecting. I'm caught back up. I'm ready to go. But yeah, man, I've learned that my ADHD does not allow me to concentrate for several hours at a time.
It's a lot.
I don't know how you do it. I was left completely exhausted. Shout out to the Kowloon for some solid food afterwards,
and great leftovers as well.
Yeah,
thank you for that, Kyle.
I'm so sorry about that.
It was fantastic. Oh no, it was. Can't thank you enough.
But yeah, no, it was great. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to get into Crown Jewel.
Yep.
I'm excited to get into what's the next one? Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream. Blood and Guts got announced too for November. So AEW's got some big events. Also, 6th anniversary of AEW Dynamite, on tonight. So some pretty big shows coming up, and we're going to talk about some Crown Jewel stuff as well. Some matches that got announced. Obviously, John Cena, AJ Styles being the big one. The WWE being like, oh, you hated Brock and Cena. Well, here's AJ and Cena for you guys. So that's an apology match for us, but. Before we jump into all that, Kyle, we're gonna kind of change up the format of the podcast a little bit. Usually we do a rundown. We just go over every which topic, the beats of the shows, everything. But me and Kyle came here today with 4 or 5 topics, the biggest topics that we are going to talk about. We're going to break down, and then we're going to talk about one thing before all of that, though, one big topic that we're going to kind of predict and give our thoughts about, and that's John Cena's remaining days, Kyle, because we are down to 5 days on the John Cena retirement tour calendar before he hangs up those Walmart branded Reebok shoes that he's been wearing for the last 20 years. I don't think they're not Nikes or anything like that. I don't know what brand they are, but John Cena, we will not see him until October 11th at Crown Jewel Perth against AJ Styles, like we mentioned. And then we will be seeing him on Raw November 10th in Boston, Raw November 17th in New York, Survivor Series November 29th, and his last ever match, Saturday night's main event on December 13th in Washington, D.C. So not a lot of time left, a lot of space in between. Some events too, in between Crown Jewel Perth and the next Raw is a full month. So there's going to be some downtime there before we get to their next show and figuring out what we're going to do with John. But Kyle, I kind of wanted to take this time to see if we can put together a map here and figure out or predict what we think is going to happen for these remaining, I'd say 5 days. We know he's going to face AJ at Crown Jewel. So I guess remaining 4 days after that. Is this something that you've thought about? Do you have a list of matches, some superstars that you think John Cena should or will, go up against, whether it be a match or promo before he walks away? Do you have any idea of what they're going to do?
Well, you hear my initial reaction if you go back and watch, because we were tuned in to Hangman Adam Page, Kyle Fletcher. We had the dual TV set up.
Yes, we did.
And we were just in complete shock that in 8 minutes and 53 seconds, Brock Lesnar could ruin a Make-A-Wish entrance, could make children in the atmosphere cry, could ruin our hopes and dreams of seeing John Cena go out and maybe perfect his PLE push into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I originally was like that. There's got to be a rematch, right? And
yeah. That was my initial thought at Crown Jewel. They're going to do it part 2.
Yeah. And you were like,
you didn't want it the first time? Well, fuck you. You're going to get it a second time.
Right. And I'm glad that I don't think that they're going to do it, because I think I texted you immediately last week when we figured out our schedules kind of conflicted, that this next Crown Jewel is going to be the biggest we are sorry. ESPN
I do think
to see Triple H was on Pat McAfee and on ESPN saying this is going to be a spectacle.
They were all bullshitting. They were so mad about the ESPN review and stuff like that.
Yeah,
post show,
they should have been because it was shit.
Yeah, no, so, they did it to themselves. But yeah, anyways,
so I have been thinking, and these 4 don't put in order, but I do think the last one should be the last one.
Yep. Okay.
Give me Randy Orton.
One more.
Nostalgic.
One more.
Just give it to me.
I mean, see.
Hold on.
I love. All right, go. All right.
Hold on. Go ahead, and here's why. And I want your rebuttal after because this is the nostalgic thing. Because here's how I think. Give me these 4 to encompass John Cena's career.
Okay.
So give me Randy Orton for nostalgia.
Okay.
Give me Roman Reigns for dominance.
Okay.
Give me LA Knight for mic skills. The battle on the MCs. Give me LA Knight, John Cena. And give me in December, the rated R superstar. Give me Edge.
I hate that you said that. Oh, I hate that you said that.
And if it happens, I want every WWE fan, internet, international, TV, everywhere, to write a letter, handwritten. It's a thing with a pen and the piece of paper, and you write on it. And I want you to send it to AEW, and I want you to thank Tony Khan, because he could have said no, but I have a feeling he is going to let what should happen for the sake of great booking and great shows, and he's going to let Edge go over to WWE and push his retirement tour in 26-27 in WWE and give the last match John Cena will ever have to Edge.
I love you. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I wish there was an ounce of me that would believe Edge will come back for one final match, but it's beyond just Edge coming back, because it has to be a Tony Khan allowing that to happen. Yeah. Tony Khan is not allowing that to happen. One day could I see WWE and AEW working together?
I don't think it's working together. I think this is knowing Tony Khan can buy goodwill from shitty booking and let all of the WWE fans come over there and being like, this guy's not that bad. Oh, wait, look at what's going on over here.
At the end of the day, though, I think this move would benefit WWE an astronomical amount more than AEW, because I do think there maybe would be people that would be like, oh, Tony allowed this to happen, let's go check out their product. I don't think that's as much of a guarantee of like they're going to stick or whatever. I don't think that is a smart business decision on Tony Khan's side. I think he's a lot smarter than that, especially just knowing the history and like what they've said to each other. Again, do I think that one day maybe they will pat each other on the back, they will do each other a favor, or however we want to phrase this? Yes. But that is way down the line. I don't think we are anywhere close, especially in this day of like WWE purposely going head to head with them this entire year. I don't think Tony Khan is going to give them one of the biggest stars of all time for an appearance. I just don't think Tony Khan would do that to benefit WWE, because I do think it would benefit them more.
Sure.
But there are a lot of people that are in support of that and are pushing for it, and I hear that and I love the idea of it, but I can't believe in it, because I'll get my hopes up and I'll let myself down. So for my own safety, I don't think it's going to happen. I can't get my hopes up that we'll be hearing You Think You Know Me on December 13th. I can't do it. I refuse to do it. Refuse. I love you. Refuse to do it.
Who would you see as the 4 best names to be billed?
So we talked about this a little bit before, because we can get a little fantasy booking here. We can get a little crazy, but I'm going to take the safe route here. Okay. I'm going to take a safe route where we're going to insert people here that we will be able to hit the nostalgia factor. We'll be able to hit the putting guys over factor and dream match factor. I think on Monday Night Raw in Boston, you run something with Dominic Mysterio. I think in Boston, that crowd is going to be red hot. You have the biggest heel come out, Dominic Mysterio, who happens to be the Intercontinental Champion, the one belt John Cena has never won. Set up a match in Boston. Main event, whatever, on the spot, however you want to do it. Do I think John Cena wins this? I don't, because I think then it gets way too tricky. If he does win it, they're in Raw the next week. I think you could do a quick, either put the belt back on Dom or put someone else over potentially. But I think Dom will either win or it'll be like a DQ, lie, cheat, and steal finish.
Sure.
Next week on Raw, I think we start to preview his final match. And here, I think we have a face-to-face. I don't think he has a match here. I think he goes face-to-face with Gunther, because I think Gunther is going to be his last opponent. It's safe. It's not crazy. It's nothing that'll blow your socks off, right? It's not You Think You Know Me. You're not getting that. But we're talking about just setting up the future here. And John Cena is all about putting guys over and leaving the place better than it was before. I think that's how he has to go out. So this is where the match gets laid out, because you have to announce this match a month ahead. You have to build it up a little bit. Survivor Series, Kyle. This is where we're gonna get. We were talking about him and Brock Lesnar not fighting again. I was gonna jump in and say something. I was gonna save it here. I do think they're gonna fight again. I think it's gonna be in War Games. Because I think there's people talking about it online, and I hate to say that I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but like the way that the stories are going right now, it just seems like the Vision, Seth, Bronson Reed, Brock Lesnar's there and stuff. I think you're going to get a grouping of them, and then you're going to have Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Cena, CM Punk could be in the mix, because John Cena has noted Usos are two guys that he'd like to go up against, teaming up with them. Roman Reigns, a rival, teaming up with him. CM Punk gets to step in the ring with him again. He has to go up against Seth Rollins, an old rival, Brock Lesnar again, and two up-and-coming talents in Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and then whoever else we want to throw in there. That way you kind of hit a few different people, send people home happy. Now, Saturday Night Main Event, I already said Gunther is going to be his last opponent. I do not believe that he is not going to show up until then. I think there is going to be an unannounced surprise appearance. I think he will have one last surprise appearance week before or something like that to hype up the match even more, because I don't think we're going to go a month in between Gunther and John Cena facing off and him not showing up post Survivor Series and just into his retirement match. I think there's got to be some sort of bridge there. And I think there's going to be like John Cena's going to throw in a surprise appearance for old time's sake, get one last crazy pop, like an unexpected Cena's here pop. And then at Saturday Night Main Event, Gunther beats him, decimates him, chokes him out, retires him, sets him off into the sunset. Gunther's your next big star. That is what I think should happen, or something along those lines. I don't know. It's all over the place because you don't have much time. There's only 4 dates, so it's like you only have so much to work with.
If there's anything that Hunter's been, it's unpredictable, and so you know what?
It's true.
It's funny.
And that's where credit to you with the Edge thing. I mean, I'll give it to him if they pull shit out of their ass. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. When you tell me to plan for something surprising and then you don't give me anything surprising, or if you tell me something surprising is going to happen, I'm from the old school WWE. I know there's limits to things we can't do anymore, and I understand that and completely back that. But when you give me mental room for like, this is going to be surprising, you let my mind wander and then you let me say something off the wall. Because you've been saying, expect the unexpected, expect this. I just don't know how much Triple H can come out and push surprises or try to hype a product anymore, when I think he should just shut up and just stay in the back, and then just nothing would let us think better.
He does have a thing with opening up a show, getting that pop at the beginning. He loves showing face.
His music's always going to get that.
It always gets the pop. He does the entrance. He spits on people. They love it. Listen, you can't be going out and saying all this stuff and not backing it up. That's what failed with WrestlePalooza. That's why it was given a C grade by ESPN, which WWE was so upset about. Honesty. They were upset about honesty. You build up this expectation in people. You tell them expect surprises, expect it's the first show on ESPN. We're gonna blow it out of the park. We're gonna knock it out of the park. Excuse me. Then you give us 5 matches, which are like 5 matches where stories have been built up and stuff, and you give us very different results. A very shitty one with John Cena, Brock Lesnar. A questionable one with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, especially when we hear about the reports about how Cody and Drew, both of them, they pitched that Drew wins because Randy Orton comes out and costs Cody by accident, gives Drew the win, sets up this story there, and then they bring there were so many better things they could have done at WrestlePalooza that we didn't really talk about that we're not going to get into. And it's frustrating when you listen to someone like Triple H and you fall for that trap and you have these expectations and get let down hard. Sometimes it's better, like you said, to stay in the back, keep your mouth shut. So whatever goes out there. You don't put expectations in people's minds. I don't think WrestlePalooza was a bad show. I think it was a very average show that shouldn't have been the first ever show on ESPN. That's what I think. If it wasn't hyped up as this first time thing, no one would be complaining about it being as shit as it was. It's shit because we expected it to be arguably best event of the year, and it was arguably the worst. So could have been more of a 180. Couldn't have been more of a 180, but that's kind of just our 2 cents on what we think is going to happen with John Cena. Kyle, do you have anything else you want to add before we jump into our topics today? We're 17 minutes in, 17 minutes in, but
yeah, I think that this AJ Styles match is going to be really good, and I'm excited for it because I think it's a clean I'm sorry, and this will be a really good match. Technical match, a good wrestling match. 2 solid wrestlers.
Absolutely. 2 legends. This is going to be a really good just wrestling match. History between the 2. It's going to be great. Crowd's going to love it too. Crowd's going to be electric. And speaking of AJ Styles, we'll stay on the topic of it. Over the last week or so, I forget when he said this officially, but AJ Styles dropped a bomb on everyone that he is going to be retiring within the next year. 2026, AJ Styles will walk away from wrestling. He says that he doesn't want to see people, he doesn't want to decline in the ring. He doesn't want people to see a different side of AJ that we're used to seeing. Once we start to see a decline in him, we're not going to see a decline in him. He says he's going to walk away before we even get to that point. Now we get to the talking point of, AJ Styles, what WWE should do with his remaining time, how they should book him, where he's at right now, because he's still kind of floating around in a feud with Dominic Mysterio for that IC belt, which at this point I've given up hope that AJ is going to win. He's had so many opportunities. I'd imagine going to move on from that. Obviously, he's fighting John Cena, so he's got that going on now. Retirement tours have been a popular thing. This year, John Cena and Hiroshi Tanahashi as well in New Japan. Is AJ Styles someone that will get a retirement tour? I was going to say should, but I feel like I should reword this because, of course, someone like AJ Styles should get a retirement tour, should get a good send-off, because AJ Styles is arguably one of, and a lot of people may say, the best wrestler of all time. From his early days in WCW to him obviously making a name for himself in TNA and becoming Mr. TNA, to leaving TNA, where he made his house in TNA. That was his foundation. Leaving that, going to New Japan, being a part of the Bullet Club, and winning all these championships, having all these dream matches, proving to people, reminding people, and showing people that even outside of TNA, he is phenomenal, one of the best wrestlers of all time. Comes to WWE in 2016. He has been in WWE for almost 10 years. That is so crazy to me, because I remember the day, the night that he debuted in the Royal Rumble at number 3, and it's like it was one of those things where, wow, no one thought AJ Styles would be in WWE. I thought he'd be an indie guy, New Japan guy. But here he is, and 10 years later, he's going to retire in WWE, it seems. He's become a Hall of Famer, not just a wrestling legend, a WWE legend as well. How do you think, well, first of all, Kyle, I want to kind of get your thoughts on retirement tours in general, how they should be handled, and like, not phrasing of if AJ should get one, but if he will get one, in the sense of like, should we be spamming these things? Should we be giving them out, or are these things that should be really like, given to a select few people, if that makes sense?
Yeah, because it's kind of weird, right? Because he is the greatest. I mean, he's the greatest in-ring worker.
He's on a lot of Mount Rushmores. He is on a whole lot,
right?
And could be the number one. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, at what point do we give a retire? It wasn't like he was a WWE product,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he is the he's the TNA guy, and that's fine. He's in all of our Mount Rushmores for wrestling. But I don't know. Why can't people get quiet send-offs like Ric Flair and The Undertaker? Like, why is that? Well, The Undertaker hasn't been as quiet as it's been in the media world post wrestling, but I just feel like, I don't know, does it need this big, like, John Cena is Mr. WWE, right? Like,
you think of WWE, you think of John Cena,
right? And I get the global send-off for John Cena. I get the belts at every stop, and I just don't know if I see that for AJ Styles.
Yep.
And it's not a knock on him. It's not like before everyone pins me to the stake. It's just that I don't think it's the same need as a John Cena. I don't 100%. Think it checks the same boxes for a global send-off.
AJ Styles, it's not like it's a world retirement tour where he's going to TNA, he's going to New Japan, he's going to WWE. It's nothing like that. It's just in WWE. So in that sense, I agree with you. I think when we talk about like retirement tours, like, and everyone's different. Some guys do go out subtly. You might be someone like Ric Flair that does get retired in WWE and then goes to TNA and keeps doing his thing. And then I think he had a match like 2 years ago or something like that. He said he had a heart attack in it or something like that. Still survived and finished the match. I think that these sort of retirement tours should be kept for WWE lifers. I think if they were to do this again, I think the next person up is Randy Orton. I think someone like Randy Orton, especially at that point, if he goes until he said he would like to go until he's 50, at that point, he's been in WWE for 30 years. Someone like that deserves a retirement tour, retirement run, because he's been a WWE lifer, and WWE is going to reward him for something like that. Someone like AJ Styles, not so much on the other case. Should he have one? Does he deserve one? Absolutely. There is no doubt about that, but I just don't know if WWE is a place where that is going to happen. And also, since we're on the topic, last match, AJ Styles, top of your head, who do you think it should be? Do you think it should be a history guy, some guy that he's had history with, an up-and-comer that he could put over? What do you think?
Wouldn't it be poetic if it was Finn Balor?
Honestly, I would not hate that. There's a lot of history between the two. I think that would be totally fine. I wouldn't complain about that.
And doesn't it set him off for a chance to get away from Judgment Day? And
gives Finn Balor a chance to just go back to being the old Finn Balor in general. Give him a little boost from that.
So
yeah,
that's where I would go.
I like that. I also think of like, again, I think of, the next generation and stuff like that. I know we just had a feud with him, but if we're thinking a year from now, maybe him and Dominic Mysterio, maybe they revisit their rivalry. Maybe Dominic Mysterio is a world champion at this point and it's a title versus career thing. Who knows? I like Finn Balor though. I do like that one a lot. But all right, Kyle, what do you got for me? What do we, what's one of your top topic for today?
So Roman Reigns returns.
Yep.
He's standing next to Jey Uso.
Yep. Screaming at him.
Roman and Jey.
Fuck them all.
Realigning, or aligning, I should say.
Yep.
Is this the fracture point between Jey and Jimmy?
He didn't look happy.
Do we see Jimmy and LA Knight? And do we? Where does Roman and Jay? Does this hurt Jay? Does this sharpen Jay?
This sharpens Jay. I think this story can only help Jay because I think this is the next story to elevate him. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
His first world title push, win against Gunther, everything didn't work. Whether because of bad booking, just of how confusing everything was at the time. He's fucking teaming up with Cody Rhodes to take on John Cena and Logan Paul. Like, what are we doing? That Logan Paul being majority of his title reign shouldn't be a thing. Now, how do you get Jey Uso over? He's over. Okay, I'm not trying to make it in the sense of like popularity with the crowd.
Right.
How do you get him to that next level that you were trying to get him at as being a main eventer, taken seriously and stuff? Call up his cousin, Roman Reigns. He was the right-hand man for 4 years. If there's someone that can elevate Jey, that has done it before and can certainly take him to that next level, because, I mean, Roman Reigns, he just came back from filming Street Fighter. That's where he's been for the last month. He's not going to be in WWE for much longer. I can't see him being active past like the next 1 or 2 WrestleManias. And he said that Hollywood's calling his name. It's going to happen. So we're at a point now where we have to look towards the future and look at who is going to be in WWE, and Jey Uso is still going to be in WWE. I think this story, I think it's going to be a long, dragged out one. I think we are entering the next inning, Kyle. Just when you thought the ball game was over, we were just at the 7th inning stretch. We are back out to pitch. We have our batters in the batting box ready to come up to bat. I think this is going to elevate Jey Uso of being one of the next top guy, whether it be a heel or a face. I don't think Jimmy and Jay are going to separate, or nothing's going to happen for a bit. I think this gets dragged on for a little bit because I think you have to have the War Games match. I think you need to have Usos vision. I think you need to have them go after tag team championships. Roman and Seth have to get taken care of. I think there's other things you have to do. But this right here, planting the seeds of what will come, I think is important. And I think I think this is going to be really good for Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns kind of being in here now as kind of like a mentor. Not he's still a tribal chief, but he's more of a mentor now. Like, he's giving that wisdom to Jey and like really having him apply it now. Like, Jey Uso has had the taste of being a world champion. I'm long-winded. I'm saying a lot right now. But now that he's had a taste and Roman knows he's had a taste, he wants to make sure that he gets that back and stays hungry and stuff. So I'm very excited to see where this takes Jey. And Roman as well, because seeing Roman in a role like this, I think it'll be a nice little layer into the tribal chief character, and also just Roman Reigns' career in general.
I agree, because I'm excited to see what a heel Jey and Roman gives for a new look to the Bloodline.
That would be sick. That would be really cool.
That does look. It sounds. I mean, and then it keeps the story feeling urgent. It keeps me. It's got me interested in it. Yep. And there hasn't been much that I've been really interested in. It keeps it new and not like a remix of 2020, 2023. But I do want to see Jimmy and LA Knight. I think that the seeds have been planted. I don't want to see it dragged on. But
yeah, LA Knight's in the mix too there still.
I would be interested to see how that would play, just because I think it would. I'd be interested in that. I just think that would be something fun. Kind of brothers, without it being a one-on-one type deal.
Yeah, I think LA Knight could be the first guy that they take out. Roman Reigns sets the hit on LA Knight. Jimmy Uso is just kind of hanging around. Jimmy Uso has seen this before, kind of the power get to Jay's head, and he's stopped it before. We're seeing a repeat of what happened 2 years ago, but just a little different now. Because again, Jay has elevated since then. He has gone to that level, but now we're talking about that next true, like, believable level. And it's like the little things in this, not even promo, but after the match, he's looking at Jay. They're talking. Jay's looking at him like, "You proud of me?" and stuff. Roman Reigns is looking at him with his hand, like his hands on his head, going, "Fuck them all. It's only about you. This is the only thing that ever mattered. You're going to take it. Go and get it. This is your show now." He is legit like motivating this guy. Like, he's throwing this, and like, I love the idea again of like this mentor tribal chief. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. And it's gonna be cool. I mean, the Bloodline stories are slow builders, as we all know. So I'm interested and excited to kind of step back and watch it play out, see what happens next.
I agree. I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, no, I do too. It'll be a good story for Monday Night Raw, and it's also a story too where Roman doesn't have to worry about being there every week. It could be one of those, like, he's always like floating around and stuff, like on the phone with Jay giving him advice, but he's not like actually there, so they can kind of play into his schedule as well. All right, next one. Let's talk about the Women's Championship. Let's talk about Tiffany Stratton defending her belt again against two opponents that she knows very well. Nia Jax, who just can't seem to get out of this championship picture, maybe because they refuse to push anyone else in the division to go up against Tiffany Stratton, so they just rely on Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. So at least they made it a triple threat match this time. This match there's a few talking points here. I think the big three is, one, holy shit, Jade Cargill got busted the fuck open above her eye. The picture afterwards was gnarly. It was a gash and a half. She got hit hard. She got thrown hard to the steps. The second one, Kyle, was Nia Jax not kicking out and the ref counting 3, but the match continuing.
That was weird.
A lot of questions there. And the third one being Tiffany Stratton retaining after all of it. It could have been Jade Cargill's moment. This match was whoever wins fights Stephanie Vaquer at Crown Jewel. So, sets up the champion versus champion. Tiffany's title reign continues. We are coming up on a year in December. So she is cruising. What were your thoughts on the match, Kyle, between the winner here, the botch, the cut, everything? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a good match. I thought that this match, the WWE focused more on overproduction and star power and trying to get the entrances and the presentation right rather than the wrestling of the match. And so I thought it was an okay match going in. When I saw Jade go into the steps, I didn't really think she got hit that hard.
Yeah.
But when she cut that corner and turned around with all that blood on her face, I was like, oh my, because you could kind of see that flap.
Oh, yeah.
And I just looked when you said she shared a picture. I just went and looked at it, and it like gave me that, like, ooh, like you can see in her head, like, ugh.
Yeah. When you can see the inside, you know it's you're gonna feel that one.
Yeah, and so that was crazy. But we were talking beforehand, and I didn't know this because I watched the botch, and I get really cringy. Like, I can't watch like Impractical Jokers because like I just get really like, oh my god, that wasn't supposed to happen. Or And so when I saw 3, like I got embarrassed for I just was like,
no. That wasn't supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen.
It just totally took me out of the match, and I was left confused, and it totally killed the ending. So yeah, I mean that's where like you take an okay match, maybe a C+, like a B-, like a fine match. It was going good, and then you totally give it like a D. So.
Yeah,
it killed it for me. And I know you said there was probably mistiming with Jade.
Jade, the ref may have been involved, right?
But
yeah,
if the ref didn't feel her ankles being touched, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just things that I'm like, how did we not just let that go? So I don't know. It totally could have been. I think.
And people were like, 2 different WWEs. If this was Vince McMahon's WWE, that ref would have counted 3, and the match would have been over. Yeah, because that's happened.
Many things we've talked about.
It was Gunther versus Randy Orton at King of the Ring. I think it was a roll up, but Randy Orton's shoulder was up way before the 3 count or something, and they still counted it. Whatever. Yeah, there have been numerous botches like that over the years where it's like you'd think that there would be something in place where, like, if something like this happens, like we said this before. Someone like Nia Jax, like someone's supposed to break up the count, you should still like go to kick out at the very last second just in case. Like, yeah, like you have that's if it was supposed to be Jade, that was supposed to break it up, and if that's what the case was supposed to be, because you trust Jade, she's supposed to be there, but you also just threw her face first to the steel step, so she might be a little preoccupied out there. So
is that the tagline? for the video to get the clicks? Is Jade Cargill to blame?
She might, yeah, is she to blame here? I don't know, Nia. Don't fucking throw her as aggressive as you did face first into it, where you can see the inside of her face. So, like, instances like that, you need to be like, have a plan B just in case. And I think that's a moment where that could have been executed. It does look bad. It makes the ref look worse than anyone, which I do feel bad for, especially if it is a spot where like someone was supposed to kick out or Jade was supposed to interrupt. Like, there's nothing the ref can do about that, because the refs are going like, ref, you suck, like, fuck you, ref. Like, the crowd was being so mean. I felt bad, but I don't know. It's live TV. Shit happens.
What can you do? 1 out of every 100.
Exactly. And we're gonna stick to some more women's wrestling. Kyle, you want to talk about Rhea Ripley here for us?
Yeah, and it's fun. It's funny because for a while I felt WWE was women's wrestling entertainment, and I feel that this is the best run for Rhea Ripley right now, being away from the belt, because I think this feud with Asuka, this potential, obviously, tag team with Io Sky, this I think keeps the stakes feeling fresh. I think this keeps Rhea's relevance in the spotlight. It shows how over she is with the crowd and ability to withstand or keep the crowd's attention for these long vignettes. I think that we don't see a lot of women's non-title feuds, and this is something that I can invest in. And so I'm really excited to see this tag team matchup. This, I think, is the card we should have had WrestlePalooza, and I'm excited to see kind of, or like a better version of it. So that's why I feel Crown Jewel is going to be the thank you, because this angle is actually better than Rhea having the belt right now.
So a few things I want to hit on here. My brain was going listening to you talking here. One, I love seeing Rhea Ripley not involved in the championship picture in the best way possible, because since she has been on the main roster, I feel like she has just been going after world championships in world championship feuds, and she is incredible, and she has deserved all the success that she has had. But that does not mean she has to be involved in every title feud, and it's more of a WWE problem where they can't book big name wrestlers, not just big name wrestlers. It's more of a women's division issue. They can't book those stories without championships being on the line. Hey, remember those IC and US belts that they introduced a few months ago? The IC belt is pretty relevant now. I'll give them the benefit there. They introduced that belt thinking that would help boost up the mid-card division. It would, spark more interest and stuff in the women's wrestling. Well, guess what? The issue is the women's booking and stuff. You can add as many titles as you want, but like there's still lack of story there and stuff. Julia's the US champion. She hasn't defended the belt in God knows how long. She barely even competes and stuff. So WWE has a creative issue of making stories interesting, not involving championships. And Rhea Ripley finally being in a story that doesn't involve one is great, because you need to let these women show that they are what's the word I'm trying to think of? She can do more than just be in championship pictures. She can what's the fucking term I'm trying to think of? She can I want to say she can just do a lot more than what she's given with the world title matches. She can just do a bunch of different things, and this feud with Asuka has been really good. The story's been there. I'm excited for their tag team match at Crown Jewel, her and Io Sky. They're always opponents. Now they're teammates, so I'm excited to see that. But yeah, I'm excited. It's just nice seeing her outside the championship picture. That's all.
This storytelling right here, and I actually want to use this Rhea Ripley Asuka example, is the storytelling that I wish I had for Seth Rollins CM Punk. Like, I wish there was something. I wish this is literally the example, and you explaining it is kind of what's clicking in my head. It's storytelling. It's small seeds planted throughout, and it's not just a lame, I hurt my knee and I was kidding. Like, it's not that the injury was the issue. It was just the lack of storytelling and create creative routes to get to that point. That's why I think we are both so invested in this matchup, because it was such good storytelling on both ends.
Yeah, I think this could Asuka versus Rhea Ripley one-on-one could have been on WrestlePalooza. When we talked about the predictions being like there's only 5 matches and we're like what other matches could have been on it, that probably was the next best like story that there was, I'd say, that you could have put in there. So yeah, you got a lot going on here, especially with Kairi saying them turning on Io Sky. So you got a strong story going here. And I'm sure their match at Crown Jewel, I'm sure, is going to be great because you just have 4 phenomenal female wrestlers involved in this. So I think it's a guaranteed to be a good match. And hopefully we keep it up because, again, like give other people opportunities. That's the other thing, too. It's like when someone like Rhea Ripley is constantly in the championship picture, it takes opportunities away from other superstars. So having other superstars kind of fill it in and showing that you have a deep roster, I think is important. And I hope we keep it up. Now, Kyle, let's talk about something a little different. Let's move on to NXT and TNA showdown, not invasion, showdown. This isn't an invasion, as Santino Marella said. No, because they've invaded already. This is just them having a showdown. So, on October 7th, on the same day as I think AEW has a show on October 7th too. I think they're having it's on Tuesday. Yes, it's AEW Homecoming. AEW Homecoming. Yeah, so they're going to be going head to head. It's so convenient that they booked the TNA show here. And they announced we have a few matches announced. We have the NXT versus TNA 4v4 tag teams featuring the men and the women's. We have the Hardy Boys versus Dark State in a winner takes all match for the NXT and TNA Tag Team Championships. Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali for the North American Championship. And then I mentioned those NXT TNA matches for the women. We have representing TNA, Kalani Jordan, The Inspiration, and Mara Sade versus JC Jane, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Lola Vice representing NXT. And for the men's, we have Mike Santana, Moose, Frankie Kazarian, and Leon Slater representing TNA, going up against Ricky Saints, the new NXT champion, Trick Williams, the TNA champion, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. So I'm sure Joe Hendry isn't on the card, which is my talking point. I'm going to bring up of, who could be on what teams, should these people be on here, whatever. Joe Hendry hasn't been announced yet. Maybe that changes. I don't know. Is the talking points I have, first question is this happening too quick? I think this is something that they've been building up for months now, obviously with the TNA NXT partnership and everything. But in the sense of like, I at least pictured this being on like a pay-per-view, like a Saturday, Sunday show, not on a Tuesday, even though they do run their special shows and everything like that. I asked the question, is it happening too quick? But I think I answered the question, or, people in the comments are going to be like, well, you said it already. AEW's got a show, so that's why they're running it. So that put 2 and 2 together. Gotcha. Hardy Boys, that tag team match, Ethan Page, those matches are great. I want to talk about these tag team matches because I think the teams could be slightly better. Looking at the women, Jada Parker is a well-known superstar in NXT, but I think they have a deep enough division where you could have inserted a few other people. I think Jordan Grace, even though she was from TNA before, I think she could have been a big enough, she definitely is a big enough name to get put in there, has history with TNA. I think that would have been a big name to put in there. Blake Monroe, who just had a match with Grace, but just debuted in NXT. And then Fallon Henley, who's been in NXT for a while and is with JC Jane. I think, maybe you could have had a few replacements there personally. And then Kalani Jordan, she is the TNA Knockouts champion. She just won the TNA Knockouts championship and is on Team TNA. Okay, but she's an NXT superstar. But on the men's side of things, Trick Williams is the TNA champion, but on Team NXT. So I'm a bit confused of why there's no consistency there or whatever. But like, sure. Looking at the men's, the TNA side of things, I think the team is solid, honestly, because you have a mix of homegrown talent. Someone like Frankie Kazarian's been there forever. Leon Slater's young. Moose, Mike Santana. For the men's, I like the team, but I think it's one of those, like, you see the meme of like the soldiers that are like leaning up against the wall with guns, and then there's like the one clown that's like in the middle of all of them. I think that's Miles Bourne here. Or at least that's what I thought of at first. It's kind of a questionable why he's in there. I know he's young and everything, but I feel like there's other guys that could have been put ahead of him. Then I looked at the roster. The men's roster is kind of thin, and so I guess it made sense why Wesley could have been in there. Ethan Page, if he didn't have a match, I think would have been a good insertion. But this is what the card's looking like. I think it'll be. I don't think this is going to be the first NXT TNA show. I think they're going to do another big one potentially, because to me it does feel like this kind of just like got put together kind of quickly, even though we've been building it up. I know that kind of sounds strange, but Kyle, I just talked for a little bit, kind of breaking this down. What do you know about this NXT TNA showdown, we can say? What are your thoughts going into it? And who do you think will come out on top in their first showdown? First, maybe last showdown.
Yeah, that this one's going to be the tricky one for me, because I don't, and I'm not going to pretend, because there is nothing better that will eat you up in the comment section than trying to have an opinion on something. I don't watch enough TNA to have.
They're not on
NXT
TV or anything like that.
Well, it's so just I watched TNA like when AJ Styles went for his homecoming.
Slammiversary.
And so, like, there's a few events that I have watched, especially since we've started to do this. But I would be so far out of my element to try to come on, and you've taught me more in the last couple of times talking about it than me watching it. It's just similar to my stance on New Japan Wrestling.
Yep.
I have, having a 6-year-old, I still have to keep time for blipping.
You only have so many hands to juggle things.
Yeah, man, and I gotta sleep. So it's just there's so much.
It's important.
I'm not a night owl like you young cats are.
Listen, if we're gonna get you into anything first, it's New Japan before TNA. So TNA is gonna get in the back of the line when it comes to that.
I feel that that's a good choice as well. So I enjoy hearing your opinions on this, because I tend to lean with you on most things, and so I'm sure that you have your finger on the pulse on that.
I think they did a good job at like spreading out the teams and getting the big names in there. But I do think that there are names that were left off, like Joe Hendry not being there is kind of weird. Maybe I think
that's got to be.
I would think he has a singles match or a surprise or something, because I don't know why. Usually. Because they said it was going to be like Survivor Series-esque an event, which it is. It's multi-team matches, and usually those are 5v5s. These are only 4v4s, so we're down a person in each of these matches. Again, some of the rosters are thin, so I kind of get it, but Nick Nemeth isn't on there. Joe Hendry, like I mentioned, Wesley. Another big name, and this is just going to segue into my next topic, Kyle, and then we'll close it out on the ones that you have. One big name that isn't on Team NXT that would have if the result of his championship match was different at NXT No Mercy, and that is Oba Femi. Oba Femi lost the NXT championship to Ricky Saints at NXT No Mercy, like I mentioned, ending his 250 plus day dominant reign as champion. He held the NXT championship and North American championship for, hold on, I want to say a combined 500 plus days. I want to get an actual number on there, because he has been absolutely dominant. He was NXT champion for 263 days and was, where's this tweet? I had it pulled up the other day. He was NXT North American champion and NXT champion for a combined 500 plus days. And he had a title defense every 3 weeks on average. He had plenty of title defenses, plenty of dominant, memorable wins. And now it is his time to get the fuck out of NXT and onto the main roster, because this guy is going to turn the main roster upside down, just like he did in NXT. Oba Femi, Kyle, I don't know if you know too much about him.
I don't, other than he's a big mofo.
He is 1 month older than me, and he is a Nigerian.
He's 1 month older than you?
He is 27 years old. April 22nd, 1998. He was a part of their NIL program. He competed in track and field during high school and college. He signed with WWE in 2021 through its NIL program, won the 2023 Men's Breakout Tournament, and never turned back. Never turned.
Track and field.
He made his
throw the discus or something.
He had a few. He probably was good at everything. I'll be honest with you. He made his debut, in-ring debut or NXT debut, main NXT debut, April 25th, 2023. So in 2 years, he has been champion for 500 plus days, and dominant to say the least. He's so young, but at the same time, he is too fucking good to fuck around with. So this isn't really much of a request, but me telling WWE, you cannot fuck this up. There are some NXT superstars that get called up, right? And it's just like some get lost in the shuffle, some get treated better than others, you know that they're going to be stars, whatever. And then there is some when there is just like, when this guy shows up, like, we're not going to like, you know, there's no training wheels. Like, we are pushing this guy to the moon. Right. This is the guy that you push to the moon. He is a big motherfucker. He is an intimidating motherfucker, and he is, for as young and as new as he is, you can't even tell that he's new in this thing. He is your next big monster. He's a guy that you have someone like Gunther or Brock Lesnar put over, genuinely. You need, I say here, I have in my notes where you can go two different ways. You could build up a story of this guy, have him do squash matches. Remember, like Braun Strowman back in 2017, he was going up against developmental talents and stuff like that. You built him up for a long time, get the crowd familiar with him, and then you kind of ease into things. You could do that, or you could strap an absolute nuke to him in the sense of he shows up on SmackDown, answers Sami Zayn's open challenge, beats him for the U.S. Championship, have him retire John Cena, as I mentioned earlier in Fantasyland. You want to build a new star, Obafemi would be my selection there. Have him go in the Royal Rumble, have him go face-to-face with guys like Brock Lesnar, have him go face-to-face with guys like Bronson Reed, Gunther, Braun Breaker, all these big guys. Have him go to WrestleMania and have a match after being on the roster for only a few months. He is a guy that you do not take lightly, and you do not fucking you not just fucking slip through the cracks. You gotta take a massive take a chance on him, but you need to push this guy on the main roster. You spent the last 2 years just making him a household name, making him this dominant force. You cannot have that momentum die on the main roster, and if it does, they've done it before, you know, fucking up people's, you know, momentum and stuff like that, but I'll be very disappointed if they fuck this up. He is a megastar in the making.
Well, WWE seems to be trying to get younger by bringing people up. I mean, you saw it with Sami Zayn for the Open Challenge.
Javon Evans.
Yeah, so hopefully this is the... I mean, I want to see younger... I want to see new superstars. I don't have the time to do it. I just don't. And so
we talk about like, you know, like AEW and like all their young talent and stuff like that, and like these stars and like their age average and stuff compared to WWE, where at Clash in Paris, the Fatal 4-Way World Heavyweight Championship match, the average age was like 41, 42 years old.
Right. Like,
you need young guys in there. Obafemi is, you know, one of those guys in the wave of young guys coming up.
Right. And it saves your longevity. I know when I watch AEW, one, I've enjoyed the product enough where now I'm invested.
Yep.
Excuse me. But two, I also know these guys are 25 to 35, like outlier 38 to 39. Yep. But like, I have more time, I think, watching this group than some of these newer stars. So I'm excited
100%.
to see some new blood because it's time. And when you look at Attitude Era, those guys were still like 35, 38. Like, they weren't 44.
Yeah.
So it is time to kind of lower that age range and to get it. And they're not going to have any issue doing it. Just time to do it.
I wonder what the average age for the men's roster is. Let's see if we can get an answer.
I would say that it is 43 to 44.
Okay. So I don't know how accurate this is. So Jim Cornette on the average wrestler age in WWE and AEW. So this is going off an AI overview of that. So don't get mad at me if this is incorrect. The average age of the WWE men's roster in late 2024 is estimated to be around 34.7 years old.
Oh.
So in 2019, it was 33.8, 2020, 35.3, 35.8. So it's been in 35 for the last 4 or 5 years, and then got right below 35. But also at the same time, I don't know if this is factoring NXT and main roster, if this is just main roster. There's a lot of people that we don't see on TV too that, are on the roster that, don't get TV time or nothing that could, mess with the averages. So kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, like how many of those are like actual, we see them consistently and stuff like that too. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not really something that's like an argument or something. There's so many young talent on the come up, and we've seen so many of these older superstars for so long. We want to see fresh new faces, and you have to build them up. You have to make people care about them. And NXT is a place where you get people to care about them. You turn them into household names. And there's been an issue in the past where superstars go from NXT to main roster, and the booking is terrible and they lose all the momentum. So that's always a fear that you have. I hope to God they don't do that with Obafemi. They've done it before, but like I said, I would be very disappointed if they do it again.
Braun Breaker's 27.
It's disgusting. It's just that kid, Javon Evans, that fought Sami Zayn, 21. 21.
Holy cow.
21 years old. Are you kidding me? It
is funny that
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It hurts. It hurts a lot, honestly. But
he's 37. Yeah, okay. I mean, sure. Okay. Cool.
It's sometimes I'm in awe when I
watch 28. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? You just saw live that for a majority there's a lot of 47s and 48s. So
there are a lot.
There's a lot of 44s to 48s.
I feel like you're either in your 20s or in your 40s. I feel like there's not a lot of 30-year-olds.
And Braun were in their mid-30s. And so you know what? You don't have to comment. You can just listen to me say I was wrong. Hey, there's some things I disagree with myself on.
You're a good man, Kyle. You're a good man. Now we have 2 more topics left, Kyle. They're yours.
Yes, now I get to go off the deep end and talk about crazy nonsense.
Please.
Here's what I'm tired of.
What are you tired of?
I'm tired of interruptions. Kyle, that's crazy. Interruptions are a part of the WWE. Yes. But I feel like WWE is robbing themselves of some superstars having defining moments they could just have key moments of their own.
They do more than they should.
Instead here's the Bronze at ringside, and here's
Brock Lesnar showing up at the end of SummerSlam when John Cena could have just had a send off.
Right.
Things like that.
But even the Lesnar thing, looking back at, even though how shitty it all turned out, okay, fine, like that's setting up your piece, but
right.
There's too many times where in the middle of a match there could be a defining moment, a reversal or a cool something could happen. It's like, oh nope, here's so and so coming over the barrier.
Sure.
I just wonder, and I want your opinion because I talk craziness. Do you find that it's storytelling? Is it stalling? Are they using it too much? What's your opinion on the interferences and having everyone ringside all the time?
Oh, it's a spam fest. That's WWE's MO. I mean, it's the easiest way to get out of matches. It's the easiest way to either stall or continue a story in the slowest way possible. You know how many times we've seen Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Division close out Raw, all battling each other one way or another. Someone's interrupting someone. That's just how WWE is. And I think that's where, like, in AEW, it's refreshing in a way because it's not always like that. There are some cases where you do need interference and it makes sense. Absolutely. And for the story, it works. But WWE does it way too much. Especially like in main events of shows. If it's a tag team match on Raw or something, I'm putting money I'm putting money on DraftKings or something where there's going to be. It's the easiest thing in the world to tell. When they did LA Knight versus Seth Rollins for the world title, CM Punk's coming out. it's the easiest thing to predict.
Right.
But it's like that's extending that story slowly, but like you're keeping that interest into the next week. So like that's because all these blow-offs happen at the bigger events. So it's like you're months away from a big event. You got to stall it somehow. I think they do it too much, especially I hate it most when closing shows, especially at events. And I mentioned John Cena. You're telling me John Cena can't just walk out and wave to the crowd and that's it? He did the whole walking out after the Brock Lesnar thing. He did the mental image thing. You tell me he couldn't have done that without getting F5 by Brock Lesnar. Like WWE has an issue or a fetish with like just like not being able to end a show normally. Like there needs to be something. And the WrestlePalooza was honestly one of the first shows that were like, I felt like that was like, okay, Cody won. No one came out or nothing. Like, okay, that was whatever. I'll give them the benefit there, but it was a shitty ending. Drew McIntyre should have won. So I don't give them a pass for that. They spam interferences and it can ruin matches. I think it ruins them more than helps them in WWE's case. I don't think they do a great job at picking and choosing when to do them. I think they just, when their back's against the wall or they need to get out of something or it's a championship match and they don't want the title to change hands, throw someone in there, disqualification, whatever. So yeah, no, it's obvious. They do it way too much.
I agree. Yeah. It's just,
I don't think that's a tinfoil hat take theory. I think that's just hey, do you watch Raw every week? do you watch weekly television? Like, I feel like half the matches on Raw, or at least one match every week, is going to end with whether it's a DQ finish, count out, or like someone comes out to cause someone else to win. Like it's
right.
It's their bread and butter. They love it. It's been like that forever, and it's going to stay that way.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I think that is kind of the refreshing part of AEW. But on another hand, though, and I want your take on this, because for me, I feel like there's a lot of, and we can wrap up after this. I don't want to, these are the off the deep end things.
More at the conspiracy side of the
what
podcast.
Are your thoughts? Yeah.
The dark website.
The X-Files music. What are your thoughts on the tag team division right now? Do you feel that it's hurting? Because I feel like we're creating tag teams right now, like out of thin air. Like we're just like EO and Rhea. Like we're trying to like, where's the Motor City Machine Guns? Where's DIY? Where's Fraxium? And all this stuff that had like all this energy.
Yep.
Because, and I asked that because on SmackDown, Street Profits, Mellow Don't Miz, started out, I thought, really good. But then it ended really poorly.
Yep.
Julia Kiana versus B-Fab Mishin. I thought that was a dead segment. I thought if you got popcorn or went to the bathroom, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
These 2-hour shows can't afford filler. There's really no time to kill. So where is the tag team division in your eyes right now? Okay.
So again, I'm just listening. I have a bunch of key points here. I need to get this out of the way first. You're talking about the Motor City Machine Guns. How about this? The Motor City Machine Guns have gone longer without a major televised win, which was on April 4th of earlier this year. So it's been 5+ months since they've gotten a major televised win than Triple H did during the entirety of his 1996 Punishment era. This tweet is from Michael Hamflet. I want to shout out to him. So Triple H's punishment run is when, they did the curtain call and he got punished for that with, hugging Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon. Shawn Michaels didn't get in trouble because he was champion. Triple H, he didn't win King of the Ring. He got in trouble for it.
Thank you so much, Steve Austin.
Yeah, exactly. But that he got punished for that. Motor City Machine Guns, I don't know what they're being punished for. They haven't gotten a win on television in over 5 months. The SmackDown Tag Team division was the hottest division in wrestling around WrestleMania season. I do think that it is much better than the Raw Tag Team division, and I say that because the Raw Tag Team champions only get featured in backstage segments, and when they get asked about whether or not they're going to defend the championships, Finn Balor says it's a conspiracy and that they'll defend them when someone can beat them. The last time they were champions, they had, 1 or 2 title defenses in like 6 months. We're going for the same thing here. We're going for round 2. I love Finn Balor, and I'm happy that he has a championship and that he's holding gold and that it's on his accolades. But, like, the tag team division was once something that was like exciting on SmackDown between Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, even La Garza. You had the Wyatt Six. Yeah, I'm missing some people, but DIY. There's other tag teams, and like on Raw, you had the New Day and the War Raiders and the Judgment Day, and you had stuff, and like now I don't know. The tag team division isn't as interesting as it was once was. The makeshift tag teams. I mean, that's also something WWE's been doing forever. When it comes to like the women's division and stuff like that, I think it's just a matter of they're just trying to get people on television and trying to just throw everyone into one big story, even if it doesn't make sense and people don't care because there's not much backstory to it. SmackDown's a lost show right now. That show is floating dead in the water right now. They have a terrible lead writer in Road Dogg. 2 hour. It's baffling because they were 2 hours. They go to 3, and it's like, oh, they're gonna be better. They're gonna have an extra hour, do more, showcase more talent. Then it was the complete opposite. It was terrible. We're going back to 2 hours. Oh, great. That's exactly what they needed. Less than that 1 hour. They're back to 2 hours. And now I'm sitting here thinking maybe this should be a 1 hour show because it's just, they don't fill it out well. I don't think it's a talent thing where like they don't have enough big name talent on SmackDown as they do on Raw. I just think the booking is terrible. And there's not really any great stories besides like the top ones with like Drew and Cody and whoever. Between SmackDown being dead in the water, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the tag team division as well. The Raw tag team division's always been kind of so that doesn't really bother me or surprise me. But the SmackDown one, I mean, again, they were the hottest thing going. People were pissed we didn't have a match at WrestleMania, and now no one's talking about them again. So I don't know. It sucks. It really does because there's a lot of good tag teams that aren't being treated the way that they should, aren't getting the spotlight.
A lot of people that I just thought there was a lot of energy behind.
Yeah, no, I mean, just like momentum. It's guys gain momentum. This was a big talking point with Jacob Fatu over the last few months. He had so much momentum, and then WWE just seemed to kill it down. He's back now, going up against Drew, starting that story. But like SmackDown right now seems to be the land of I wouldn't say opportunity, but like if you have any sort of momentum right now and your name isn't Sami Zayn or Cody Rhodes, good luck. You are fighting for survival on Friday nights. It is not the best show to be on right now. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Kyle, do you have anything else? Anything else we want to talk about before? We
can close this up, but this is just one thing I wanted to see. So I'm excited for Wrestle Dream, which is on October 18th.
Yes.
And that so far has a Darby Allin, John Moxley, I Quit match build.
Yes. That's going to be it.
Hand me 100 honey packets because I am ready to go for that.
That is going to be fucking nuts. Uh-huh.
But I was just like, oh, that's weird. Like October 18th, let's just see what WWE's doing. WWE will be holding a live event in Tokyo, Japan as part of a 2-night Super Show event in NXT Halloween Havoc on the 18th and 19th. Or no, sorry, both on the 18th. The Super Show Japan and Halloween Havoc NXT. Same night. Weird.
Yeah, I don't think the WWE one is televised. I think that might be. Do you know what because some people were talking about it. I think because they used to do these like house shows that they would I don't know if they streamed it on Peacock or something like that. I don't know if this is going to be streamed or not, the WWE one, but I know they had they're doing Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Julia as the match that they're marketing. Let's see. Japan tour. I'm curious if this is going to be streamed or not.
Shinsuke Nakamura is on the flyer for it.
Is he also on it?
He's on the flyer, which I thought he was, which doesn't surprise me. But I didn't know he was still.
Let's see. Super Show Japan. Let's see if this is going to get streamed or not. Featured superstars. Yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura is on the featured superstars. I don't know. We'll have to do some research in there. Stream
Saturday, October 18th, 4 p.m. which I don't know if that's 4 p.m. their time.
And most likely, well, this is Reddit. It most likely won't be streamed. Oh, there's like a card. Well, I don't know if this is a leaked card. I don't know if I should say leaked, but it's just going to be just a house show. It's just going to be a big house show in Japan. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's meant to be like a counter program thing. They also announced this, like the Japan thing has been announced for a while, I think too. But Halloween Havoc. When's Halloween? Is that the Sunday?
I'm excited for Wrestle Dream because
that I quit match.
Someone got set on. Darby Allin setting people on fire at the end of the night.
Someone's leaving that show.
Who knows?
What other match? I think Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe is a match that's been getting teased a lot. Kyle Fletcher Omega. That's another match that could happen. There's a few matches that they're kind of teasing. But yeah, that'll be a great show. I have a college reunion that day, so I don't know if I'll be back that night or not. I'm hoping if I am back in time, I'm going to be streaming it, but that's a to be determined situation. And then we have Blood and Guts that got announced in November, and then Survivor Series War Games is also November, and then Crown Jewel is, I believe, when is Crown Jewel? When's the exact date for Crown Jewel? It is
October 8th.
October 11th at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll be live on YouTube bright and early that day. So
wait, it's what time?
8 a.m. Eastern time.
So it's 7 a.m. my time?
Yes, sir.
That's fucking brutal.
We're in Australia, baby. We're in Australia. See you bright and early next Saturday.
Next Saturday at 7 a.m.?
Yeah. I don't see any other breaking news happening right now, so I don't think we have any other big topics to go over. Kyle's all disappointed right now. Wrestling is very early next weekend.
Fine,
I guess I'll get up and watch.
I'll make pancakes on my Blackstone and be happy.
I'll force myself to be happy. If only it was AEW that was starting that early.
Early Jack and Coke's been early bedtime, Dante.
That is, oof. We'll have a good stream in a few weeks.
7 a.m. here, but it's
5 o'clock somewhere. You know the saying. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in Australia. You know the saying. 7 o'clock here, 5 o'clock in Australia. All right. That's all we have here, guys. Thank you so much for watching, tuning into episode number 20. Drop down in the comments any thoughts, opinions, anything you want to drop down. Appreciate you for being here. Thank you for your support. Check out the Patreon. Link to that is down below. Check us out on our socials. You know where to find us. Until next time, until episode number 21, peace out.